continuation of our holistic program Pragya. Today we will discuss the nuances related to the Buddhism and Jainism. Okay. We will directly delve into questions. The first question, we will consider the following. How many of the above facts are correctly matched? Rigveda, collection of sacrificial formulae. No. Samaveda, collection of hymns. Yajurveda, collection of spells and charms. Atharva Veda, collection of songs. Then, what about the significance of Rigveda? Where the Rigveda, it is the collection of hymns. Yes or no? And the Rigveda, it constitutes the fundamental foundation of Vedic corpus. Which Veda it constitutes fundamental foundation for Vedic corpus? Rigveda. And if you go through Rigveda, how many hymns are there? 1028. Correct? How many virginal hymns are there? How many virginal hymns are there? The virginal hymns were 1017. Okay, the added hymns were 11. The added hymns in Rigveda known as what? The added hymns in Rigveda is known as what? Mandalas. No, here in Rigveda 10 mandalas are there. Among these 10 mandalas, for your kind information, 10 mandalas, the second to 7th mandala known as family books, original mandalas. Okay, and then first, 8th, 9th, and 10th, these are later mandalas. Yes or no? Yes. These are known as family books. The 11 were known as Valakyas. What are those added hymns in Rigveda? Valakyas. This you must know. The 11 added hymns in Rigveda known as Valakyas. Where these Valakyas, an appendix of 8th mandala, of Rigveda. An appendix of 8th mandala of Rigveda. If you are studying Vedas means you must have 360-degree outlook. Let them formulate any mode of question pertaining to Vedas. You must have thorough knowledge. Yes or no? Yes, try to understand. Clear now? These are known as Valakyas, an appendix of 8th mandala of Rigveda. And then one more important nuance I must add. Among Vedas, which Veda has been incorporated as intangible heritage? Rigveda, it has been considered as intangible heritage. Intangible heritage. Yes or no? Yes, that person. That's why the Rigveda, the living legacy, which Veda was considered as a living legacy of literary heritage. Living legacy of literary heritage. The living legacy of literary heritage. Is it clear? Try to understand. And then Samaveda. Samaveda, what is the significance of Samaveda? Definitely, the Samaveda, it is Veda of melody. Correct? Sama, where the word Sama interpreted in two ways. Sama means source of music, Sama means to listen. Correct? These are the two connotations pertaining to Samaveda. Are you getting the point? Try to understand. If you go through Samaveda in your competitive exams, they used to emphasize on a key theme which has been embedded in Samaveda. Are you aware of Narsimshas? No? So far, how come that? Hey, UPSC people, they are so clever. They are so clever. They know how to purify. Narsimshas means a set of rules and regulations attributed to music. Attributed to music. Yajurveda. Next, Yajurveda. Collection of spells and charms. Yajurveda, science of sacrifices. Which Veda is called a science of sacrifices means Yajurveda. Okay? And not only science of sacrifices, it is also considered as a science of rituals. Okay? Yajurveda, and remember, it always revolves around rituals. Which always revolves around rituals? Yajurveda. This is what you must learn. A little point. And then Atharva Veda. What about Atharva Veda? What about Atharva Veda? Just I want to pose one important question. Why Atharva Veda is different from other three Vedas? Everybody says where it mainly deals with magical spells. No. In the entire Vedic scriptures or Vedic corpus, which Veda it has got a substantial significance means Atharva Veda. That's why Atharva Veda is always considered as the most advanced Veda. Which Veda most advanced Veda? Atharva Veda most advanced Veda because it consists of progressive literary outlook compared to other three Vedas. Progressive literary outlook. Then, come on. What about Atharva Veda? What it basically means? School of Telugu. So, the books of Veda which deals it deals with folk culture means Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda. Is it clear? This is the only Veda. It consists of folk culture. That's why the Atharva Veda, it was considered as non-Aryan Veda. Which was a non-Aryan Veda? Atharva Veda considered as non-Aryan Veda. Always try to understand. Clear? Yeah. Clear, Paul? Then answer, none. Correct. Then what is common between the places, the Kundalavana, Patliputra, Rajagriha and Vaishali? See, these are the four respective places. The Buddhist councils were convened. Correct? Buddhist councils were convened. I used to incorporate one important mnemonic actually while dealing with these councils. Rajkumar weds Parvatama at Kashmir, where you can remember all four Buddhist councils. Yes or no? Yes, right. Remember. Suppose I want to give one more analogy. Suppose if you have written Adike means fat soluble vitamins. The remaining all vitamins are water soluble. Those vitamins are known as B complex vitamins. Yes or no? Yeah. Likewise, where you can consolidate content in the form of mnemonics. So essential, especially in your preparational perspective. Yes or no? Yes. Try to understand. That is where I used to write. See, among these four Buddhist councils, which was the council? It was held in caves. Among four Buddhist councils, which Buddhist council? It was convened in cave. Today is an auspicious day, Sunday. Yes or no? Yes, sir. That is Rajagriha, where the caves, Sapta Parna caves. Sapta Parna cave. Are you not aware of it? Saptaparna cave. Right, remember, Saptaparna cave, under the patronage of whom? Under the patronage of Ajatashatru. Correct, pa? Under the patronage of Ajatashatru. In which Buddhist council the Buddhism was categorized into two categories? Second and fourth. Fourth, no. Where we can come across the theme of schism. Where? In fourth. Try to understand this. But in second, where they categorized into, one was known as Theravada and another was known as Mahasangika. Correct? Yeah. Try to understand this. Where the schism was happened during the rule of the Kushana ruler Kanishka, correct? Where he was popularly known as second Ashoka, based on the substantial contribution to Buddhism. These were the first four places visited by Buddha. No, Buddha's path of travesty is different. Okay, try to remember. Pitakas. Okay, all the Buddhist Pitakas were compiled here. Okay, in which Buddhist councils the Pitakas were introduced? First council. Oh. In first council, one was Sutta Pitaka and another was Vinaya Pitaka. Okay. Sutta Pitaka by Ananda, Vinaya Pitaka by Upali. Okay, try to remember. And then the third Buddhist council, Abhidhamma Pitaka by Mughali Puttakisa or Upagupta. Yes or no? Yes. Clear? Then Buddhist councils have been held here. And the fifth Buddhist council, where it was held? Prayag. Under the aegis of whom? Under the aegis of Harshavardhana. Correct? Fifth Buddhist council, it was held under the aegis of Harshavardhana. Statement 1. Consider the following statements. The strong emphasis laid by Jainism on the principle of ahimsa. Sure? Yes or no? Why? Why? Because the ahimsa in Jainism is a core principle. It's a core principle. Not only core principle, it must be considered as extreme principle of Jainism. Which was a core principle, extreme principle in Jainism? Non-violence. Yes or no? Try to remember. Thereby, among 24 Tirthankaras, the Mahavira, he must be considered as an embodiment of non-violence. Who was an embodiment of non-violence? Mahavira. Yes or no? Yes. Are you getting my point? Try to understand. Then, non-violence towards all living beings discouraged many agricultural communities from accepting following Jainism as their faith. Clear? Even in Jainism, as per the Jaina tenets or principles, agriculture is a prohibited practice because soil being a critical media where it consists of several organisms. Yes or no? Try to remember. At any circumstances, what was the theme of Jainism? Non-injury. Correct? Either it will be a living being or non-living being. That is what we will call a concept called as Jiva. Okay, try to remember. Even we can differentiate between Buddhism and Jainism based upon this Jiva concept. Yes or no? Yes, try to understand. Then this was because agricultural practices involved flowing the land and other activities that inevitably resulted in the killing of numerous living organisms. Definitely. Both the statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 explains statement 1. Earlier there is one mode of question. Both A and R are correct. R is correct explanation of A.
Okay, just they have given a new touch to this. That's all. Okay, assertion, reason type of questions. Yes or no? Yes. Then in Buddhism, Patti Mokka, oh, it's easier. Patti Mokka or Patti Moksha. Yes or no? Try to remember. Where it mainly deals with what? It mainly deals with what? Jadon? It mainly deals with monastic code. Yeah, monastic code. A set of rules and regulations. Yes or no? Yes. Try to understand this monastic code. The Sangha, what we will call it. Pratimoksha. A name of Bodhisattva. What is meant by Bodhisattva? What is Bodhisattva? Okay. Okay. ನೋಡಿಪ್ಪ ತುಂಬ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಶಿಶೋತ್ತಮ ಬೋಧಿಸತ್ವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎ ಪರ್ಸನ್ who destined to become Buddha or yet to become Buddha. Okay, try to remember. A person who destined to become Buddha or yet to become Buddha ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Yes or no? Yes. Where they became bridge makers. ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ in Buddhism, in Jainism, Tirthankaras were known as bridge makers. Likewise, in Buddhism, who constitutes bridge makers ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನು? ಬೋಧಿಸತ್ವಾಸ್. ಯಾ, ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಮೇಕರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫೋರ್ಡ್ ಮೇಕರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಈ ತರ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗೆ. ಈ UPSC ದೇ ಮೇಸ್ ಎನಿ ಮೋಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ? ಎಸ್. ಯಾ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಕ್ಲೇವರ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಕ್ಲೇವರ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಹೌದಾ? A dialogue text ಇದೇನು ಹೇಳಿ? A dialogue text between King Minandar and Nagasena? Milinda Panno. Yes or no? Yes. What is a Milinda Panno? Milinda Panno means it's a questionary of Buddhism. Okay? Milinda Panno means questionary of Buddhism. The pragmatic questions posed by Minandar, the pragmatic answers provided by Nagasena. Yes or no? Try to remember. That is what the essence of Milinda Panno. It's a religious discussion. Yes or no? Yes. The rules of Sangha. And one more source is there where it also enunciates or envisages rules of Sangha. Which was that source? Very good, sister. Vinaya Pitaka. That's so. You must know. Vinaya Pitaka. Because the Vinaya, it's a book of discipline. Which is a book of discipline? Vinaya Pitaka. Yeah, book of discipline. Yes or no? Yes. Try to understand. And then, which of the following are characteristics most commonly ascribed to Buddhism? Rejection of authority of Vedas? Yes or no? Yes. Try to remember. Nodi, basically Buddha, he was an agnostic. He was an agnostic. What is the meaning of agnostic? Hey, what is the meaning of agnostic? There are three things. Theistic is there. Correct? Atheistic is there. Okay, theistic is there, atheistic is there, and then agnostic is there. Yeah. These are the three important concepts you must understand. Are you getting my point, pa? Yeah. These are the three concepts. Agnostic means the one who remained neutral. Okay? That's why Buddha, he was a rational thinker. Yes or no? Yes, he was a rational thinker. Buddha. This concept is important, pa. While dealing with Buddhism, we must emphasize upon this particular aspect. Then emphasis on the role of the individual, definitely. Correct? Why? Because, see, Buddhism says every individual, an arbiter of destiny. What it says? Every individual is an arbiter of destiny. Yes or no? Yes, every individual. is an architect. Every individual is an architect of his own destiny. Belief in the categories of Jiva, Ajiva. No. Whenever you will go through the theme Jiva, no, immediately where you can reject it. Because it is very much pertaining to Jainism rather than Buddhism. Clear part? Rather than Buddhism. There itself, there is the matter. And the next one, theory of Prakriti and Purusha. No, theory of Prakriti and Purusha, it is a Sankhya philosophy propounded by theory of Purusha and Prakriti. It is propounded by the great proponent Kapila, in the form of a Sankhya school of philosophy. Okay, Sankhya school of philosophy. Is it clear? Try to understand. What was the meaning of Sankhya? Do you know? 6 philosophical schools are there. They used to ask questions, especially in cultural perspective. They used to ask. I know. What does it mean by Sankhya? Sankhya means what? ಏನಪ್ಪ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. What does it mean by Sankhya? Number. Oh, is it? How come here? What does it mean by Sankhya? Hey, what does it mean by Sankhya? Number. Oh, how come I say? Sankhya means enumeration. The enumeration of human attributes. Enumeration of human attributes. Hey, ಓದ್ಬೇಕು ಇನ್ನು. Enumeration of human attributes. How come here? Enumeration. Sankhya means enumeration here. Always try to remember. See, for example, for census. What is census? Enumeration of people. Hey, check. Try to give proper answer. What is the census? Because census, it is mainly pertaining to demographic dynamics, correct? Yes or no? Census means it is a socio-economic enumeration exercise, and it also acts as a policy tool of the government, correct? What is this here? Hey, whenever you are writing answers to UPSC, no, first attempt, first rank. Okay, first attempt, first rank. Yeah, that must be the attitude. That must be the attitude here. Then you can clear. Try to study, but is it not where we have to provide them apt answers? Correct? Precise answers? No beating around bush. UPSC people know, they will never like. You must be precise in your approach. Next part, with respect to Mahajanapadas. Okay, first question. What are Mahajanapadas? What are Mahajanapadas? Yourself, what are Mahajanapadas? What is this? What are Mahajanapadas? Are you aware of Mahajanapadas? Correct, no? Then what are Mahajanapadas? What are Mahajanapadas? Tribes, no. Mahajanapadas, during 6th century BC, the emergence of the ancient political entities. What are Mahajanapadas? Ancient political entities which emerged during 6th century BC, known as Shodasa. How many Mahajanapadas? 16 Mahajanapadas. Yes or no, pa? Yes. Hey, try to learn subject properly, pa. You must know each and every concept here. See, if you go through from Rigvedic period to the later Vedic period and 600 BC to 300 BC means where we can come across Mahajanapadas. First Kula, and then next Grama, and then next one Vish, and then next one Jana. After Jana, Janapada. After Janapada, Mahajanapada. Oh yeah. What is there in that? Yes or no? Yes, yeah. Anga, current location, Bhagalpur region, Bihar, correct? Yeah. And then Magadha, Patna and Gaya, correct? Try to remember. Kuru, Delhi and Western, Uttar Pradesh. I think all the three are correct. Which one? Kuru, Delhi and Western Uttar Pradesh. Kuru, no? Yeah. Delhi and Western Uttar Pradesh. Yeah, Indraprastha definitely. See, in ancient perspective, what we will call Indraprastha. Correct? Right, remember. The Kuru Panchala. Correct? All the three. Okay, Anga, Magadha, Kuru. See, just I want to pose one question, Pa. Who was the first ruler of Magadha who conquered Anga? Huh? Who was the first ruler of Magadha who conquered Anga? As a policy of imperialism? Ajatashatru. Hey, what is this? Who imbibed policy of aggression? The policy of aggression was first imbibed by Bimbisara. Where this Bimbisara who conquered Anga? The capital of Anga, Champa. Okay. Who of the following was not a contemporary of Buddha? Hey, easy answer here. See, whenever just we will emphasize upon contemporaries, whatever that question, we formulated, try to remember, it must be tougher one. It must be tougher one. Why it must be tougher one? The UPSC in match the following. If you know three answers perfectly, the fourth, if you don't know, you cannot opt for right choice. You cannot opt for right choice. Not like KPSC. If you go through A1 means you can find other three. KPSC ontara, ನೀವು ಒಂಥರ ಇರಬಹುದು. But UPSC is different ball game. You must aware of it. ಹೌದಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ? ರಿಷಭ ದೇವ. ನೋಡಿ, ರಿಷಭ ದೇವ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣನೇ where we can outrightly reject it. Why ರಿಷಭ ದೇವ we can outrightly reject it? No. He was a mythological personality, first mythological personality of Jainism. First mythological personality of Jainism. Mythological personality of Jainism. Right, remember, mentioned in the first mandala of Rigveda. First mandala of Rigveda. First mandala of Rigveda. Right, remember. And then Purana Kasapa, yeah, definitely. Ajita Kesha Kamlin. Who was Ajita Kesha Kamlin? Papa, who was Ajita Kesha Kamlin? Who was Ajita Kesha Kamlin? Yesterday also I mentioned, if you are going through 4 choices means you must know all the 4 choices. That is what the intention of discussion. Simply we cannot read out answers. Correct, no, Pa? Yeah. Where we are here to impart insights. Correct? Yeah, it must empower our respective aspirants. Who was Ajita Kesha Kamli? Hey, these are all so important here. See, if you go through the Heterodox sects of 6th century BC, where in Heterodox sects, though the emergence of 62 philosophical movements, among 62 philosophical movements, 4 are important. One was Buddhism, Jainism, and then Ajivika, and then Uchedavada. Who founded Uchedavada? Ajita Kesha Kamlin. Where this Uchedavada, UPSC people, they used to ask with regard to this, where this Uchedavada, it was considered as Charvaka philosophy. What kind of philosophy? Charvaka philosophy. They used to ask, Charvaka philosophy or Lokayata or Uchedavada, a theory of hedonism. The theory of hedonism. Yeah, theory of hedonism. Sensual pleasures. They mainly emphasized upon sensual pleasures. Try to remember. Lokayata. Are you getting my point? Thereby, it was also known as the materialistic philosophy. Materialistic philosophy. Try to read all these things. So important from cultural perspective. The UPSC people, they used to ask. Clear, no? And then who was Makkali Gosala? Huh? Disciple of Buddha. Is it? How come I say Makkali Gosala? He was a contemporary of Mahavira. Who was a contemporary of Mahavira? Makkali Gosala. Makkali Gosala Putta. Try to remember. That is what you must know. Try to understand this. Thereby, he was an ascetic of, he was an ascetic of Ajivika sect. He was an ascetic of Ajivika sect. He was an ascetic of Ajivika sect. Clear now? Try to understand. Hey, you have to read, Pa. With reference to the Rigvedic economy, consider the following statements. What is the nature of Rigvedic economy? What is the nature of Rigvedic economy? The nature of Rigvedic economy, the pastoral economy. Yes or no? The pastoral economy. This is what first you must know this pastoral economy. Yes or no? Yes. Ours was considered as the chief form of wealth. No, because in pastoral economy, the cow, it constitutes backbone of Rigvedic economy. Which is a backbone of Rigvedic economy? Cow. Cow, it considers a backbone of Rigvedic economy. Yes or no? Yes. Try to understand. Till today, the cow plays a vital role in agrarian economy of India. Yes or no? Yeah. Try to understand. Agrarian economy of India. Thereby the cow. Next, and land had not yet emerged as a private property, as agriculture was still at an early stage of development. Is it agriculture was still at an early stage of development? Yes, because there was no much trade and commerce. Whenever the agrarian activities flourishes, at that time only it paves the way for the substantial quantum of trade and commercial practices. Are you getting my point? Substantial quantum of trade and commercial practices. That's why, which is a best example for that later Vedic economy. Why later Vedic economy? Because for the first time Aryans migrated in eastern direction and they came and they settled at Gangetic Valley, where that Gangetic Valley provided a pragmatic platform for agrarian activities that in turn further led to agricultural surplus, trade and commerce, and finally it was culminated into urbanization. Clear? Yeah. The term ayas mentioned in Rigveda. What is the term ayas? What is the meaning of ayas? What is this here? ಹಿಂಗೇನಾದರೂ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ ಗತಿ? ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಅಯಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ದ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅಯಾಸ್ ಡಿನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ರಿಗ್ವೇದ ಮೆಟಲ್. ಇದೊಂದು ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಂಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್. ದ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಯವ. ದ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಯವ ಇನ್ ರಿಗ್ವೇದ ರೆಫರ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್? Pepper, Yavana Priya. Hey, my dear boy, where are you? See, Yavana Priya, pepper. We know, say, if you go through what is meant by Yava, what is meant by Yavana, what is meant by Yavanas, what is meant by Yavanika, where we can hear. This is yesterday, that's why I have written, my dear aspirants, whenever you are consolidating content, it must have contextual connectivity. Okay, contextual connectivity. If you achieve this contextual connectivity, now one attempt is enough to become IAS. Okay, Yava, especially whenever you will go through Yava in Rigvedic context, in generic sense, Yava means grain. Okay, in generic sense, according to Rigveda, it means grain. Clear now? Where that grain, hey, try to understand, that grain, it gives reference to one is wheat and another is barley. Yeah, one is wheat, another is barley. Try to understand. Clear now? Wheat and barley. Thereby it gives the reference of a grain. Suppose if you go through prior to Rigvedic period, hey, try to understand, prior to Rigvedic period, at that time Yava means barley. At that time Yava means barley. Prior to Rigvedic period. See, one of our aspirant who referred iron, no? Hey, iron, there is no mentioning of iron in Rigveda. What is the terminology they used for iron means Loita Ayas. Loita Ayas. Try to remember. Shama Ayas. Shama Ayas. Krishna Ayas. Krishna Ayas. ಇನ್ನು ಏನಾದರೂ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸಾಕ. Next, the Aryans of the Rigvedic period lived mainly in urban settlements. Is it? No. Rural. Try to understand this. Where we can differentiate between the Indus Valley civilization and Vedic civilization. The Indus Valley civilization urbanized. Correct? Try to remember. Some of which were fortified with burnt bricks or wooden structures known as Pura. No. Try to, do you know what is the meaning of Pura? Pura means what? Pura means a city or town. Try to remember, city or town. Purapala, the one who is at the helm of town or city. Then first, second and third. Correct? Incorrect? No? Definitely. Next. Answer 1, 2, 3 ma. 2 is incorrect, both are incorrect only, no? Both are incorrect only, no? How ours can be considered as a wealth during Rigveda? Second option, no? The term ayas mentioned in Rigveda refers to a metal, correct? But it denoted iron, no. That is where the crux lies. Try to read its statements properly. Clear? Yeah. Clear, no, pa? Next, which one of the following shows the ascending order of the political units during Vedic age? During Vedic age. Come on. See. First one is Kula. What is the meaning of Kula? Family. Who was the head of the family? Kulapa, correct? Kulapa or Grihapati or Dampati, correct only. Then the next important one after Kula, Grama, correct pa? Who was the head of Grama? Gramini. And then next Vish, correct? What was the meaning of Vish? Group of villages. Vishyapati. What is the meaning of this? VASH means group of villages. What is the meaning of VAS? Are you aware of VAS? No. How come? The VAS jot down the common section of society. These are all important. You must know here. Common section of society. Where that common section of society, try to remember the V's. Are you getting my point? Where you can stratify society based on this, and sometimes it also refers the menial section of the society, the lower section, what we will call. And then VISH group of villages. Try to remember, a spelling mistake is there. H must be there. Try to add H there. Vish. What is the meaning of Jana? What is the meaning of Jana? Jana means? Jana means what here? Yourself, Jana means? Don't be quiet, pa. Try to interact. Yeah, I am here to interact here. The class must be lively, no? Yeah, pa. I must be like a live wire. Come on. Jana means a definitive tribal community. Try to remember. And then Rashtra. It is also known as Janapada. Okay. What was the meaning of Janapada? What is the meaning of Janapada, pa? Sishya? Political entity. Okay. No, pa. You must achieve the depth. Janapada means, try to remember, Janapada means a formal administrative territory inhabited by people. Without people, can we consider Rashtra? No, yeah. Okay, clear? Yeah. A formal administrative territory inhabited by people. Try to understand this. Clear, pa? Then Kula, Grama, Vish, and then Jana, Rashtra. Where this Janapada, no, it is also a symbolism of territorial tendency. It is also a symbolism of territorial tendency during later Vedic period. Try to understand. Next, last one. Consider the following statements. Sarvastavadi. There itself you can eliminate the choice. There itself, correct? Sarvastavadi means? Hey, Sarvastavadi means? Try to remember here, if you go through Sarvastavadins, try to remember a segment of Buddhism. Okay, it's a segment of Buddhism. See, sometimes UPSC people know, with regard to Buddhist sect, they used to ask in-depth questions. They used to ask. For example, they will give Sammityas, they will give Kakutukas, they will give Sautantrikas. 18 Buddhist sects are there. How many sects are there? 18 Buddhist sects are there. You must refer every sect. They may ask anything because they used to give statement type of questions. Yes or no? Yes. Try to understand this. You must aware of these things, especially related to Jainism and Buddhism. They will always formulate in-depth questions, not the direct mode of questions. Indirect mode of questions, conceptual mode of questions. Are you getting my point? Try to understand. That's why in depth you have to study. Let them ask whatever question they want to ask. Sarvastavasin was an important sect of Jainism. No. Oh, okay. Which was strong in the region of Mathura and Kashmir. No. Vajrayana, the vehicle of thunderbolt. Okay. And then sect of Buddhism originated in eastern India and grew rapidly in Bengal and Bihar. Who was a ruler who was responsible for the revival of the sect? Dharmapala. Okay, Dharmapala. Where this Dharmapala, he was responsible for the revivalism and the reformation. He was last recognized patron of Buddhism. He was the last recognized patron of Buddhism. Who was the last recognized patron of Buddhism? Dharmapala. How he revived means by means of establishing universities. By means of establishing universities. Yes or no? Yes. Vikramashila University, Baharanpur, Odantapuri. Okay, try to understand. These are the universities where they revived. Try to remember that in turn responsible for the percolation of Buddhist culture and heritage. That in turn responsible for the percolation of Buddhist culture and heritage. Are you getting my point? Then from the end of Gupta period onwards, Indian religion became more and more permeated with the primitive ideas of sympathetic magic and sexual mysticism. Okay, and the Buddhism was much affected by these developments. Can you give an example for that? There is a best example with regard to this statement. Can you give an example? Anybody in this classroom? Because later stages where that Sangha, it shriveled out. Why the Sangha shriveled out means because they mainly engaged in lavish mode of life. Okay, later on they mainly engaged in lavish mode of life. Try to understand this. Then which sect or which segment of Buddhism where it considered as a sexual intercourse as a source of salvation? It's an open challenge to all. Sayajiyana Buddhism. Sayajiyana Buddhist sect. Yeah. Pakka. You can go through it. Sayajiyana. The sexual intercourse, it became a source of salvation. Sayajiyana. Then second and third statement correct only? Yes or no? Yes? Definitely no doubt in that. You have written answer for this already. This one, mains question. Then though the factors for the emergence of Buddhism and Jainism were somewhat similar, their basic tenets were quite different. Definitely. Okay, but whenever you are giving answer, no, suppose if you take the concept of soul, that the difference between Jainism and Buddhism. Okay, try to remember. See, Jainism says the soul is eternal. Okay, whether it may be living organism or non-living organism. Are you aware of these things? Okay, fine. Okay, but then really I am so happy, pa. Whatever the tip of iceberg I know, whenever I used to get an opportunity in order to enrich, not to empower my respective aspirants to their destinations. Okay? If you have any queries, you are always welcome. You come and you can meet me. Okay? Yeah. Whenever I will be in Dharwad, I will be at your service. Okay? Okay, fine. Take care. If you have any queries, whatever so far we have discussed? Okay.